Hey guys, big welcome back. Today I'm just doing a little flight out in the park with the Lichi using the VR goggles, and I wanted to just bring you guys along for that. So this is like, only my second real time. I did do one time that didn't really count because it was so quick, but only my second real time going on any distance and giving a real go at it. So it was pretty fun. I've just left the video at 9 minutes, whatever, because we can talk about stuff in that time. Yeah, here, just go cruising down, and then all of a sudden I see some geese, in the water, and I was just thinking, oh shit, don't fly, don't fly, don't fly. So here I kind of steer around them a little bit, but cool shot nonetheless. I'm still finding that, and I mentioned this in a previous video if you haven't seen before, but I'm still finding that for whatever reason, recording through Lichi's got a little bit of graininess to it, so I'm not really sure. It's not a huge deal. It's not like it's, video ruining or anything like that, but it's just one of those things, I guess. While we were out at the park, I let my son fly his first flight in VR, which was pretty cool. He's 15, so he's only flown a drone a handful of times at most. And I decided to put it up in the air for him and just told him don't bring it any lower and let him cruise around for a bit. And he seemed to really enjoy that. So who knows, maybe one day he'll want to get a drone of his own. And well, he already has one of those little HC5s or something, I don't know, some little cheap drone. And but it obviously doesn't handle like this, so this flight was pretty cool for me. The only thing I still worry about though is that odd wire that just maybe you don't see. But I just figured what the hell, go for it. We're out in the middle of nowhere. We're up not middle of nowhere, but like by Vineland or something in Ontario here. And so I just decided to kind of cruise around some people's farms and stuff, and we're going to go over some cows after and all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, just kind of buzz around kind of flight, you know what I mean? Testing out the maneuverability and stuff. I'm really excited for the new DJI Mavic coming out, and I'd like to find out exactly what the deal is with their VR goggles. They didn't really explain it very well, so I'd like to know what is that. Like, do we put our own phone into it, but it had lights on it, so it would appear that it's maybe got its own screen in there, like that it's powered. So really looking forward to finding out what the deal is with that, because flying the VR is fun. The Lichi app is pretty cool. Obviously it is a bit grainy though for what you're watching, but the new one is 1080 display on your display while you're flying, so a little more detail so that you can look for those wires or tips of antennas or branches or whatever the case may be. So we went and I saw that farmer there. I was kind of hoping he'd see the drone zip by, but he didn't seem to. And fall colors, you can see, are coming out. It's that time of year. I hate winter, but I do like, to get a couple of winter flights in there, I guess, because it can be pretty. Same with with fall, even though it's a sign of terrible things to come. It does look nice on the trees. Here we're going to come down and see some cows. And I gotta apologize if the video is a little bit jumpy. It's because I filmed in 4K. I forgot to change the settings, and I should have changed the settings for for a high-speed flight. But hello, cows. They were probably like, that is an ugly bird. And then I think we see some pigs or something over here. I don't remember what they were, but zipping through the guy's farm. Hopefully it wouldn't be too pissed. While we were there flying, while my son was flying, I was going to say that a fellow had saw us or whatever, and he pulled up in his Jeep and he wanted to see it. And then he was one of those ones that's going off about, there's a guy in my neighborhood that flies one of these, and, the police gave him a real stern talking to. And I was like, yeah, if he was flying it around your neighborhood, he's not breaking any laws. And he's like, well, he's looking in people's windows with it. And I said, I highly doubt that. That thing's pretty loud. And I explained to him that even though it's got a 4K camera, you have a hard time making out a face at 30 or 40 feet. You're not sneaking this up to look in somebody's window and peeping Tom them without them noticing. And he's like, well, I don't really know exactly what he was doing, but really, you really got to be careful with these, or you'll end up in hot water. And I was like, well. And I explained to him the photographer's right to photography, which basically states that if you have a reasonable expectation of privacy, then then potentially somebody could be charged for invasion of privacy or mischief, anything along those lines, which would be basically what that dictates is that if you're in your backyard and you have a full fence all around it, your neighbors can't see in, and someone's hovering a drone and spying on you sunbathing, well, then you should have had a reasonable expectation of privacy in that situation. If you've got a chain link fence and sidewalks all around your backyard and busy street or something like that, and someone flies their drone looking at you, it could be assumed that you wouldn't have had any reasonable expectation of privacy. Your fence was completely see-through. Anybody could see you, and it's completely legal to photograph from the sidewalk. So there was no advantage to being in the air, so they'd never make a charge stick on that. And basically, I just kind of explained some of these things to him. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he didn't like what I was saying. He ended up leaving. After showing me his Jeep that he'll never go off-roading in because he doesn't want to scratch it or whatever, but he really wanted a Jeep for that was 4x4, and off-road capable, so that he could never take it off the road. Kind of funny, I guess. To each their own, though. I'm not judging. There's probably a lot of you out there that have vehicles that you don't go off-roading in. Some of my subscribers will know we bought a new truck last year, the 2015 F-150, and one of the first things I do is go and slap it in some mud and, banging it around, because that's what it's made for. Here we come back to the geese, say hi again. And yeah, this was like a perfect area to kind of try to get used to the FPV in. And I'm going to take it up nice and close to some of these lights. I'm not sure if it's quite yet. But, I wanted to kind of get used to it. But I think the new Mavic is a little more responsive, because turning at these speeds, it's got a very wide turning radius. Now, with that being said, I'm not sure what my settings are. Like, maybe I could have done something to make the responsiveness a little sharper. And also flying in GPS mode. I'm not in ADI. I definitely wouldn't have been too comfortable with that, just getting to know the FPV. But I had a great time testing it out. If you guys haven't had this app, I definitely suggest giving it a shot. Although, if you're going for the Mavic, I guess there's no point in buying Lichi right now, because it most likely will be a little while before they have a Lichi app for it. And who knows, there may not even be one if there's no point. If all those functions end up just being built into the Mavic and it's got its own FPV anyway. The FPV was my main reasoning to buy this. I'll probably use the waypoints again, but it's not really my thing. I like to, I enjoy flying, and I like to, kind of do the work myself on it. But yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, bring it back in here in a minute. And yeah, I had a great time. That's if you haven't had a drone, this is, I tell you, the Phantom series are great drones. I love them. Very steady, easy to fly. Here I tried to do a nice low crossover over that, which was pretty cool. That'll pretty much wrap it up, guys. I do appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next video. Hopefully you will click the like button if you've stuck around this long. That means you must have enjoyed it somewhat, so I'd appreciate that, and consider subscribing. See you guys next time.